Hey, and welcome to a new ShadowSisterHealing video. In my videos, I let your shadow meet your light so you can be whole again. And today's love reading, we have new stories, and I have been reviewing some vampire stories, but eventually I want this reading to be something that can be healing. And I believe in healing fairy tales. So I end up, for now, before I'm sure about some big book that I will commit, I'm just reading fairy tales. And I already picked out of all these, how many fairy tales here is, I'm numbering them. 52 fairy tales. So I was numbering them, picking them and putting them over in the pile because I wanted to kind of know the name of the fairy tale before I start reading. Because I don't know if I read whole fairy tale from this book, or I tell it in my own words. We will see. But every other card will be mystery. There is, I know the fairy tales with the piles. I have sorted even the crystals to them to fasten up the process. But today we will be healing with the fairy tales. And my whole channel name is called ShadowSisterHealing, an inner child healing. And that's because I'm kind of believing in this playful childish energy that I am very good at because I'm a creative person. I'm very good at this, and I feel that that's the joy of life and this playfulness. It's healing for myself, and I have seen it's healing for others too. So let's bring it up. Anyway, today I have here also some little gadgets. Let's have here immediately there is a crystal ball. What it says, if you have a question, you immediately ask and maybe you get an answer. No. No, yes. Yeah, inner child healing, very important is boundaries. So saying no can be very upsetting actually for your inner child because it's so much easier to say yes. But saying no can be your magic word. So let's start introducing the pile. So I will put the timestamp then. The pile number 1 is third eye chakra. And the selection card based on what kind of image you will see, you will make a selection also with this. This translated to tarot is 2 of swords. And then you have this kind of pile with the Halloween tarot deck. Pile number 2, you have heart chakra. It will be a love reading. Beautifully is here also. And then we have a queen of pentacles. So queen of diamonds here. You will get this Finnish ukonpakka, Kalevala tarot. And if you feel drawn to more piles, you are free to look all of them, because the whole point about pick-a-pile reading is always that you should feel intuitively drawn to certain readings, and that's them for you. So pile number 3 is a solar plexus chakra, and 2 of heart, which means 2 of cups. This is a beautiful card. Look at this, and then you will get this kind of horses, Edmond Dula deck, this kind of artist deck. And that's your pile. So these are your choices, and every one of them has a fairy tale also. What other decoration I could show? I have here this cute Holland couple. I'm collecting puppets and I have a lot of different, but I love this kind of love related things. Okay, I think we start pile number 1. So, third eye chakra, this is to connect the intuition with intellect. And then you just know things. You're not only knowing things from the book, you have inner knowing, comes with the whole body experience. Your body is very wise and knows what it wants. It's almost like, yeah, there is this soul knowing that comes from whole body when this third eye is activated. Anyway, let's start the reading, revealing what is your fairy tale. Number 1, your fairy tale is Father Supreme, the golden goose. Okay. And then I still have a little flashback from the D.H. Lawrence book that I was reading from May till now, end of September. I took some text from the aftertext that the author had said about relationships. And you have this. Let me show also this picture. How different they are, mental feelings and real feelings. Today, many people live and die without having any real feelings, though they have had a rich emotional life, apparently having showed strong mental feelings. It's very connected to this card. It's really beautiful to see always alignment like with these cards. I didn't know this card was this, only knew this and the crystal, and actually I need the fairy tale I knew. But this is Two of Swords in Tarot, and this Two of Spades, Two of Swords, is about very much mentally, intuitively making a choice. So it's very connected again to third chakra, but there is a choice here. Is very much having this kind of, the person is with the two swords like this, and just bandage on the eye, and it's just doing with the feeling like what is the right one. So that's the image. Then let's start reading your fairy tale. After that, I will. You cannot see this desk, but this lover card will say that. I'm gonna read about the golden goose. So I read a little bit at the beginning, then I jump. Here was a man who had 3 sons, the youngest of whom was called the simpleton, and was despised, laughed at, and neglected on every occasion. It happened one day that the eldest son wished to go into the forest to cut wood, and before he went, his mother gave him a delicious pancake and flask of wine, that he might not suffer from hunger or thirst. When he came into the forest, a little old grey man met him, who wished him good day and said, "Give me a bit of cake out of your pocket, and let me have a drink of your wine. I'm so hungry and thirsty." But the prudent youth answered, "Give you my cake and my wine? I haven't got any. Be off with you." And leaving the little man standing there, he went off. Then he began to fell a tree, but he had not been at it long before he made a wrong stroke, and the hatchet hit him in the arms, so that he was obliged to go home and get it bound up. That was what came of the little grey man. So then there is a second son going to the woods, as well. Is not polite for this old grey man, and he's just answering to the same question to share the food. But second son spoke out plainly, saying, "What I give you, I lose myself, so be off with you." And leaving the little man standing there, he went off. And then he also got hurt. But then the simpleton, this one brother, the third brother that everybody despised, he insisted, "Father, let me go for once into the forest to cut wood." And the father answered, "Your brothers were hurt themselves by so doing. Give it up. You understand nothing about it." But the simpleton went on begging so long that the father said at last, "Well, be off with you. You will only learn by experience." Which is indeed, this third eye chakra is like important to understand the important to experience and that knowing. Okay, so the mother gave him a cake and food again, but a little bit less good as the brothers had. So he had just a sour beer and some bad cake. And again, when he came into the forest, the little old gray man met him and greeted him, saying, "Give me a bit of your cake and drink from your flask. I'm so hungry and thirsty." And the simpleton answered, "I have only flour and water, cake and sour beer, but if that is good enough for you, let us sit down together and eat." And then they ate this together. And this, of course, the old man in the fairy tale always, there is some kind of like a good spirit showing off as like a not the most wealthiest. And this man was happy to point him to a tree that he could cut, and he managed then to cut it. And said to him, "As you have such a kind heart and share what you have so willingly, I will bestow good luck upon you. Yonder stands an old tree, cut it down, and in its roots you will find something." And thereupon the little man took his departure. The simpleton went there and hewed away the tree, and when it fell he saw, sitting among the roots, a goose with feathers of pure gold. He lifted it out and took it with him to an inn where he intended to stay the night. The landlord had 3 daughters who, when they saw the goose, were curious to know what a wonderful kind of bird it was, and ended by longing for one of its golden feathers. The eldest thought, "I will wait for a good opportunity, and then I will pull out one of its feathers for myself." And so when the simpleton had gone out, she seized the goose by its wings. But there her finger and hand had to stay, held fast. Soon after came the second sister, with the same idea of plucking out one of the golden feathers for herself, but scarcely had she touched the sister than she also was obliged to stay, held fast. Lastly came the third with the same intentions, but the others screamed out, "Stay away! For heaven's sake, stay away!" But she did not see why she should stay away, and thought, "If they do so, why should not I?" and went towards them. But when she reached her sisters, there she stopped, hanging on with them, and so they had to stay all night. And the next morning, then this simpleton started walking, and then he didn't even pay attention, but all the people were running after him. The tree had always to run after him, left and right, wherever his legs carried him. In the midst of the fields, they met the parson, and there is other people too, like altogether 7, and they all got stuck to the goose, or to the people, the goose, and then this kept going on. So the third brother was just walking with the golden goose, and then everybody was like, start to follow them, or like stuck to it. And then he came to a town where king reigned, who had an only daughter who was so serious that no one could make her laugh. Therefore the king had given out that whoever should make her laugh should have her in marriage. The simpleton, when he heard this, went with the goose and his hangers on into the presence of the king's daughter, and as soon as she saw the 7 people following always one after another, she burst out laughing and seemed as if she could never stop. And so the simpleton earned a right to her as a bride, but the king did not like him for a son-in-law and made all kinds of objections, and said he must first bring a man who could drink up whole cellar of wine, also eat whole stack of bread. There was even like bringing a ship, but this goose was always helping him to make it happen. It was like there was always this old man in the forest that was also before, and the old man would drink the wine, the old man would eat the bread, and eventually the old man would even give him the ship. And then afterwards, how the story ends. Yes. Simpleton asked for his bride the 3rd time. The king, however, found one more excuse and said he must have a ship that should be able to sail on land or on water. So soon said he, as you come sailing along with it, you shall have my daughter for your wife. The simpleton went straight to the forest, and there sat the little old grey man with whom he had shared his cake. And he said, I have eaten for you, and I have drunk for you. I will also give you the ship, and all because you were kind to me at first. Then he gave him the ship that could sail on land and on water, and when the king saw it, he knew he could no longer withhold his daughter. The marriage took place immediately, and at the death of the king, the simpleton possessed the kingdom and lived long and happily with his wife. So this was your fairy tale pile number 1, Golden Goose. And there was a lot of story about how you have to stay kind. Like at first, it was like this old man. Now I'm gonna pick more cards for you. The old man immediately, like the other brothers were like ignorant, they were selfish, they were all this kind of thing. But this, even was a simple man, he had a good heart, and it got him very far. That's the lesson here. Now, actually, I should have. Let's put this card back. I'm not gonna look. I wanted to see. Actually, I had intention here. I want to see what your person you are interested of is feeling about you. Here we have this very brave, simple man, and then this king's daughter. But how is your person seeing you? And these are the cards. And then we take for you how you are feeling about them. Okay, there's only one. And then maybe advice from the universe a little bit about the situation. Okay, these 2 parts. So this person is seeing you as 7 of pumpkins and 4 of imps. Okay, so it's a person is seeing you, someone hardworking who has got a lot of success, a bit like people would notice this golden goose, the man carrying the golden goose is already like a lot of pumpkins here. It's like people are noticing what you have done. So also your person have noticed that you have got a lot of harvest. And then we have this 4 of wands, which means that this is really like a celebration of that successful kind of, like you are triumphing, like this is community is you have a good community that supports you. So there is this, maybe this could be a little bit like that side, because it's looking like a harvest. And all this celebration is going to happen. It's really like a harvest time. So they see you as having this harvest time. And how you saw the person? Ace of pumpkins. Oh. So wait. So I was saying like how you see the person. How was I saying? And then the other one is seeing like an ace of pumpkins, totally new beginning, new, like a really a big harvest. Yes, like how they see you and you see the person as there is like a fresh new beginning. I mean, there's this kind of pumpkin full of candy. So it's another pumpkin to get, let's say, like you already, as they see you, you have all this harvest, but you see them as a possible new pumpkin, like a really new beginning of some prosperity, abundance, very much abundance here. Okay. So very abundant relationship. Anyway, there is this choice here. Something has to be intuitively chosen here. But then the advice from the universe is here. Knight of Ghost and 5 of Ghost. Okay, interesting. There is really the Knight of Ghost. These are cup energy. So we got really this emotional advice from the universe. Knight of Ghost is definitely this most romantic night, sometimes a little bit thirsty night, coming for like getting the thirst, like it will be very poetic, would write poems, would be artistic, maybe would be really, sometimes the Knight of Cups is not the most, I'd say, like it can come and go, let's say, like it has one day it like you, next day it's run away because it's already got the cup full. So it's this kind of romantic, a little bit roller coaster coast, like a night, but it's coming for an offer. It could be a text message, it could be a message coming from your person. There is this communication clearly, but then it's showing that there is a lot of Five of Coins, so it is like a Five of Cups, so this kind of mourning of loss. As well, there's this pumpkin, you are seen as this pumpkin, so they also see that you have lost a lot in life and you are like this pumpkin here that is focused a little bit of the sad things. So it looks like this person is going to cheer you up. They want to just make you smile. Just thinking about this golden goose story also, how this is related to that. It's almost like you are the golden goose, because this is really this kind of abundance card, like you would be the golden goose. And then you are not realizing how like you are focusing just to the loss, but there is this night coming that is very good for you. Very like a lover is coming. Okay, let's see your message card for love. Okay, there's some bird here also. Actions speak loudly. Express your love through actions. Okay, this golden goose story also, there was this action taken. Very good action taken. Sharing the food, doing things, making everything happen. So in this case, it looks like here would be like this man is coming, but here is this woman is driving this bird. There's always these birds coming here. And there's an olive leaf here. I think that tells also a little bit like a communication. I think I want to read a little bit from this booklet. Where is it? Where did I put that booklet? Here. Okay. Number 49. Does it say anything about that olive? Okay, I read the last part because it's described this card. A falcon carries a maid on its back. The daisies adorning her body imply new beginnings, optimism, or rekindling. The falcon is a signal of focus, to focus your attention or energy on what you value. The deep blue of the sky emphasizes the positive power of communication and the security that can be fostered in a relationship. Okay, so there is a feeling a bit like your person sees you. Was this like you see the person? I was like saying, anyway, somebody's seeing somebody as this new beginning, and then the same message is coming here. So there is a fresh relationship starting here. Okay, I had the interruption, but I had to stop. But now this was a reading for pile number 1, and now we move to the next. So we have pile number 2 here, and you have selected this card and heart chakra crystal. And now we see what is your fairy tale. So your fairy tale is the goose girl, also goose, but a goose girl. this I know very well. I have had this story on my fairy tale walk. It's connected to losing your power, because we all are like, I could tell it in my own words also. I know this story very well. But this story, let's hold this page. The goose girl is a girl that has lost a father and then is living with the mother, but is like a princess. It's not a goose girl in this part. And the mother has made agreement that she will marry a prince in the distant kingdom, has never met this man before, but the agreements are met between these two kingdoms, and she takes off to go to the kingdom. So then the mother gives her three things. First, she gives her the handkerchief that she put 3 drops of blood from her, and said that she always have to keep it in the bosom, because then she always know what to do. It's like intuition. And then she get truth-speaking horse, showing here the head horse. The horse will always speak the truth, and when she drives with the horse that speaks the truth, she will be fine. And then she gets a maiden who will accompany her on her travel. And so they take off to this distant kingdom. But what happens is then that she gets thirsty. She gets thirsty on the way, and she said to the maiden, "Please give me water. I'm so thirsty. Like, please, let's stop." But this the maiden is having an attitude. She's not even. She's like there to be a service. She is not helping her, and she has to go herself. And she bends over the stream to drink from there. And when she do that, she accidentally drops this handkerchief, and so she lost that intuition. Okay, they continue driving, and then they go forward, and then again she gets thirsty. So her thirst was so great, the princess had to get off her horse and to stop towards the running water to drink again, because the maiden would not help her. And then when she came back, the maiden had got really bad. She forced her to get off her clothes, and she had took her horse, and now she was forcing her to be the maiden herself. What's the seer saying? The waiting woman ordered the princess with many hard words to take off her rich clothing and to put on her plain garments, and then she made her swear to say nothing of the matter when they came to the royal court, threatening to take her life if she refused. And all the while Falada noticed and remembered. So this horse was the truth-speaking horse. And then she took the horse, and the waiting woman then mounting Falada and the princess the sorry jade, they journeyed until they reached the royal castle. There was great joy at their coming, and the king's son hastened to meet them and lifted the waiting woman from her horse, thinking she was his bride. And then he led her up to the stairs, while the real princess had to remain below. But the old king, who was looking out of the window, saw her standing in the yard and noticed how delicate and gentle and beautiful she was. And then he went down and asked the seeming bride who it was that she had brought with her and that was now standing in the courtyard. "Oh," answered the bride, "I only brought her with me for company. Give the maid something to do, that she may not be forever standing idle." But the old king had no work to give her until he betrothed him of a boy he had who took care of the geese, and that she might help him. And so the real princess was sent to keep geese with the geese boy who was called Konrad. Anyway, I could tell this in my own words. The story goes on that she becomes a goose girl, but this fake bride is so evil that she even immediately asked the king to slaughter the truth-speaking horse, that the truth will not be said. And so the beautiful horse is killed. She will become really sad about it. And she goes to the butcher to say, like, please, can you please save the head at least of that horse, because I love this horse so much. And then the horse head is nailed to the city gate. And she started going to do her duties as a goose girl, this contract boy. And every morning she will pass this gate, and the horse head is there. And it was a speaking horse, and still now it speaks, but now the truth has become guilt. And that's very important actually now with this heart chakra here. When you want to heal your heart, you heal it with the truth. And when the truth has not been spoken, there have been lies, the guilt is living in the heart. So say with this horse, it's speaking to the girl now with the guilt. And it's saying like, oh, look at you. If your mother would know your pain, her heart would surely break in twain. And he's saying this when she passes there, and she's always very sad about that. She go to the middle then to take care of the gooses can be there freely. And there she's like momentarily feeling like a free. There was this thing that anyway, there's a thing that she opened her hair, she's combing her hair there. There's a picture of that here. It's sort of happy, free on the middle here. And then you can see this Konrad boy there. This Konrad tried to approach her, but every time the wind is blowing the hat of the Konrad, and Konrad have to go after the hat. And he cannot go close to the girl. So eventually this thing keep repeating, like somebody who would have trauma. The thing will keep repeating, like every time they pass the city gates, she's talking to this dead horse, the dead horse talking back. He tried to approach her, she's sending him away with this hat flying. And it's kind of like always repeating this story. And so the Konrad says that this is very strange, report this whole thing to the king. And king comes to spy on this and finds out the same truth. And eventually this girl is faced to say the truth, but she's keeping the word that she's afraid of her life, or that she made this oath to this fake bride. And eventually they put her to the kind of like an iron oven, that in these times where I said like only there you can tell the truth, if you cannot tell otherwise, like a justice system. And then she's put it there, and there to the wall she confessed what happened to her, and the old king is listening. And then it's like, okay, I knew it, this was the bride and not this other one. She was so weird anyway, she was a true princess. And then the wedding is happening, but the false bride before is married is confronted about her doing, because now they know. And here, when the old company had eaten and drunk and were merry, the old king gave the waiting woman, the fake bride, a question to answer as to what just a one deserved who had deceived her masters in such and such manners, telling the whole story and ending by asking, now what doom does such one deserve? And this servant, fake woman, bride, had still the attitude, and she would not admit all the cruelty that she'd been up to. And she said, no better than this, answered the false bride, that she be put naked into a cask, studded inside with sharp nails, and be dragged along by two white horses from street to street until she be dead. And thou hast spoken by own doom, said the old king, as thou hast said, so shall it be done. And then the sentence was fulfilled, the prince married the true bride, and ever after they ruled over the kingdom in peace and in blessedness. Oh yeah, it was a long story. But beautifully, actually, you have here the heart chakra connected, and oh my god, I have to put the charger again. I had only way to have this charger put on, but I put the lamp off. But anyway, let's continue. So this is the Queen of Pentacle. This is very much the caring and good-hearted queen. So and very abundant. So it's beautiful. It comes with the heart chakra, and the fact that this goose girl eventually she won this situation, but sometimes this is like a good girl card, like good queen, good girl. If you always say you are not stand for yourself, you might end up then to be victim of situation. Here in the heart chakra is also the wisdom that you should really love and not fake it. So of course, the person who really loves, they take care of the kingdom, they take care of their people. They are not like killing the truth-speaking horse. They are not like doing all these evil things. They are truly doing beautiful acts of kindness and like being this love and caring spirit. So in this story they could win, but there was a lot of injustice because the girl was also like too good to be firm and say no. So remember the power of no. Anyway, we had still here this card from the DH lovers. Let's see what it is. I could have already read it before, but now we read it. Telltale signs of a fake love. Interestingly. Yeah, this fake pride and fake love. Maybe this is really important for you to understand, like, what is the true love and what is the fake love. So telltale signs. And these DH lovers have said 100 years ago, so listen carefully. The person's actions don't follow their words. They focus primarily on their desires. They will avoid bringing you into their world. They regularly make plans without considering you, and they will avoid committing. Remember this, if you want to have true love and this good person in your life, that good person would not be like that, would be committed, would be wanting to show their world, would be focusing on your desires too, and listen what you want, and respect you. And they would take action that are backing their words. Yes, remember that, to recognize what is fake and what is real. The person doesn't introduce you to their world if they are like, what was this worst here I was seeing? Of course, avoid committing, but regularly make plans without considering you. That is not a nice thing. In the relationship, you should be a team and you should do things together. And there should be like some kind of like a story that you are making together. Like a beautiful love story is that you are creating it together. Okay, so then we have a love card for you. Maybe before that, I'm just really taking this cards. So I'm taking now to see what the person thinks of you, and then what you think about the person, and then some advice from the universe of this relationship currently. Okay. So thank you. So this was how you think about, what was it? Okay. I think I said, like, first is what you think about your person. Or was it opposite? I'm really so tired now that I'm like mixing, but they both are very beautiful. The first is Temperance card. Pohjolan Neito is this beauty queen. And the other one is Two of Cups. So it's really like a love, choosing the love. So in either way, whoever you are in this relationship, are you the beauty queen, a beautiful person, or are you the balanced person, or are you the spirit of the well? These both are very connected to the water. Like the temperance actually doing heart alchemy. We have here a heart. And then we have here this lover's card, really, the choice card that you are choosing each other. Very beautiful. Advice from the universe. Näkki. 7 of Cups. Yes, it's dream. Näkki can be, there is just one element, it's Näkki story in Finland. It's like, it is water spirit. You have here a lot of love, but it's a little warning that there can be illusions in the water. And what Näkki does, Näkki is kind of capturing people in that water and like kind of luring them into it and like capturing them. So just be sure that the things are like not illusions and that they are real. There's a lot of dreams that actually, because this comes from the universe, it says that even this is very positive in my opinion, because this is like dreams can come true. Yes, so you should not be so much afraid maybe about that. Even the Näkki is this water spirit that can lure you, even that's kind of maybe pay attention, says the universe, what is real and what's not. Don't be illusion about things, but still the dreams can come true, I see here, because you have really this love related energy here. I think the first card was like how you are, how the person sees you. How did I say that? I think I said like that. Anyway, what takes what resonates. This is very, very much connected to the heart alchemy. Then we have the Lover's Whispers of Love card. It is the heart of matter. There is more going on than meets the eye. Kenlis angel. In an original temperance card, there is actually the angel balancing the cups. But yeah, there is more than meets the eye. You are not aware of everything that's going on. See, even this kind of inner child kind of person here. Maybe there's really these dreams, as this card is showing the dreams, like there's these dreams that you have had. Now they could come true because there's really this loving energy here. But remember this advice here about what is the good queen and what is the fake bride. Recognize that even in yourself, like what is fake and what is real. Okay, that is your reading, pile number 2. And we move to the next. Fast. We go to the next. PLEXUS CHAKRA, hero stories. Are you servant or hero? Choice is yours. But here we have again the love 2 of Cups energy. So choose love, choose life. Transporting. Okay, what is the fairy tale here? It's getting late, but I'm gonna tell this to you. Roland. This is the fairy tale. This I have read, but I don't know so well. Let's see how well I can tell that to you. Roland. Anyway, all the fairy tales can be very healing, so I believe in that. I'm going to show you possibly this card. Roland, yes, there is love. There is love in Roland's story, yes, but there is a little bit story before it happens. So, there was once a woman who was witch, and she had 2 daughters, one ugly and wicked, whom she loved the best, because she was her very own daughter. and one pretty and good, whom she hated because she was her stepdaughter. One day the stepdaughter put on a pretty apron, which the other daughter liked so much that she became envious and said to her mother that she must and should have the apron. Be content, my child, said the old woman. Thou shalt have it. Thy stepsister has long deserved death, and tonight while she sleeps, I shall come and cut off her head. Take care to lie at the farthest side of the bed and push her to the other outside. And it would have been all over with the poor girl if she had not been standing in a corner near and heard it all. She did not dare to go outside the door the whole day long. And when bedtime came, the other one got into bed first, so as to lie on the father's side. But when she had gone to sleep, the stepdaughter pushed her towards the outside and took the inside place next the wall. In the night, the old woman came sneaking. In her right hand she held the axe, and with her left she held for the one who was, and with her left she felt the one who was laying outside, and then she heaved up the axe and both hands and heaved the head of her only daughter. When she had gone away, the other girl got up and went to her sweetheart's, who was called Roland, and knocked at his door. When he came to her, she said, so this good girl was saved because she was able to be listening, and now the other girl got killed. But then she went to this lover. Listen, dear Roland, we must flee away in all haste. My stepmother meant to put me to death, but she has killed her only child instead. When the day breaks and she sees what she has done, we are lost. But I advise you, said Roland, to bring away her magic wand with you. Otherwise, we cannot escape her when she comes after to overtake us. So the maiden fetched the magic wand, and she took up head of her stepsister and let drop 3 drops on blood on the ground and on the bed and on the kitchen and 1 on the steps. Then she hastened it back to her sweetheart. When the old witch got up in the morning, she called out to her daughter to give her the apron, but no daughter came. Then she cried out, "Where art thou?" "Here at the steps sweeping," answered one of the drops of the blood. The old woman went out, but she saw nobody at the steps and cried again, "Where art thou?" "Here in the kitchen warming myself," cried the second drop of blood. So she went in the kitchen and found no one. Then she cried again, "Where art thou?" "Oh, here in the bed, fast asleep," cried the third drop of blood. Then the mother went into the room and up to the bed, and there lay her only child, whose head she had cut off herself. The witch fell into a great fury, rushed to the window, for whom she could see far and wide, and she caught sight of her stepdaughter hastening away with her dear Roland. Okay, so then they are escaping. I'm going to cut this a bit shorter. They're kind of trying to camouflage in all kind of ways. First, with this magic wand, they are like a brush they are doing. The Roland become a lake and she become a duck, and they can get away with that. Then again, he's gonna be like a musician, camouflage, and she's like this flower, but this witch is getting a little hint of that she is that flower. Eventually, things are happening in this fairy tale. And sadly enough, the Roland is even losing the interest of this poor girl who is so devoted to him. So what was going on here? So now we were saved, and Roland said, "I will go to my father and prepare for the wedding. And I will stay here," said the maiden, "and wait for you, and so that no one should know me. I will change myself into a red milestone. Yeah, there it went wrong. So they were able to get away with this witchy stepmother, but then when she became a stone, a milestone, then things went wrong when he went to prepare the wedding. So away went Roland, and the maiden in the likeness of a stone waited in the field for her beloved. But when Roland went home, he fell into the snares of another maiden who wrought so that he forgot his first love. So the stupid guy went to prepare for the wedding, and then some other maiden got into him and snatched him, and so he forgot his first love. And the poor girl waited a long time, but at last, seeing he did not come, she was filled with despair and changed herself into a flower, thinking perhaps someone is passing, will put his foot upon me and crush me. It's kind of like a very self-destroying way. It's like, okay, I am a flower and now somebody will crush me. But it happened that a shepherd tending his flock saw the flower, and as it was beautiful, he gathered it, took it home with him, and put it in his chest. From that time, everything went wonderfully well in the shepherd's house. When he got up in the morning, all the work was already done. The room was swept, tables and benches rubbed, fire kindled on the hearth, and water ready drawn. And when he came home in the middle of the day, the table was laid and a good meal spread upon it. He could not understand how it was done, for he never saw anybody in his house, and it was too little for anybody to hide in. The good serving pleased him well, but in the end, he became uneasy and went to the wise woman to take counsel of her. The wise woman said, "There is magic in it. Get up early some morning, and if you hear something moving in the room, be it what it may, throw a white cloth over it, and the charm will be broken." And the shepherd did as he told him, and the next morning at daybreak he saw the chest open, and the flower came out. Then he jumped up quickly and threw a white cloth over it. So the spell was broken, and a lovely maiden stood before him, and she told him that she had been the flower and had until now cared for his household matters. She told him all that had happened to her, and she pleased him so much that he asked her to marry him. But she answered no, because she still remained true to the dear Roland. True, he had forsaken her, but she promised not to leave the shepherd, but go on taking care of his house. Now the time came when Roland's wedding was to be held, and there was an old custom in that country that all the girls should be present and should sing in honor of the bride and bridegroom. The faithful maiden, when she knew this, was so sorrowful that she felt as if her heart would break, and she would not go until the others came and fetched her. And when her turn came to sing, she slipped behind so that she stood alone, and so began to sing. And as soon as her song reached Roland's ear, he sprang up and cried, "I know that voice, that is the right bride, and no other will I have." And everything that he had forgotten and that had been swept out his mind came suddenly back to him in his heart. And the faithful maiden was married to her dear Roland. Her sorrow came to an end, and her joy began. So this story is about somebody who is so faithful and so committed that they will do anything for their loved one. Even this man was supposed to prepare the wedding and run off in another one. Still there she is and singing the song, and then the man finally remembers, oh, that's the bride I was supposed to marry. Anyway, kind of not the most nicest man, let's say, this Roland, but she was a good one, and she got married in the hero story in the sense. She was also sentimental. Anyway, what is the story of DH lovers? People allow themselves to feel And constant number of finished feelings. This feeling only what you allow yourself to feel at last kills all capacity to do for the feeling. And in the higher emotional way, you feel nothing at all. The higher emotion are strictly dead. They have to be faked. Tender love, love of our fellowships, love of God, and real belief in anything. For belief is a profound emotion that has the most connivance. That is a beautiful thing coming up with this maiden who was believing in this relationship. It's beautifully said. This is 100 years ago. The lovers have said this, but this is like tender love, love of fellow, and then this. For belief is a profound emotion. Higher emotion is to believe in something. Indeed, there is a card even mentioned. People have forgot the power of belief. I'm also talking sometimes about belief systems in the sense that, okay, this is like an underlying thing why we do things. But remember that even in a love, do you believe enough? You believe in this love enough, like this girl believed that the Roland was the one, and she would wait. She would just like be there. Anyway, now let's move forward. I'm going to look what your person is, how your person is seeing you. Okay, somewhere here. Somewhere, I guess. And how you see your person. Let's Christopher here. Where is this? Edmund Dulantek, there's beautiful stories in there. So how your person is feeling about you. There's two cards coming up. How you're feeling about them. One. And then the universe applies to this thing. 3 cards, okay, a lot. Person is feeling at you. 8 of Pentacle. It's like a hardworking. They see you like a hardworking person. So it's like doing some pottery here, clay. And then 9 of Wands. This is more like, I always interpret this a bit like going to intuitive work, but somebody who has given a lot of effort and needs to have a little rest. So that's how they see you. And you see them. 3 of Wands. It's like a foresight, usually. I'm going to read these stories, but this can be kind of like a planning the next move. And then maybe we read immediately. I would say that these are pretty clear. This is how the person sees you. The 3 of Wands, I'm not so sure about the story, so let's see. So this is how you feel about them. Surrounded by the plants of a garden, a woman leans over a white flower and picks off its petals. A thoughtful look about her. She's looking for new stimuli and new solutions. Listening to the environment around you, taking time for oneself. So it's kind of like a hermit, like somebody who is having a planning and not making the move yet. It's kind of planning the next move. You're seeing them like that. Then advice in the universe is Temperance, 8 of Wands, and what is this? Chariot. Okay, 2 beautiful cards. 2 major arcana cards and the middle 8 of Wands. And 8 of Wands is this kind of manifesting energy. Things are happening. Things are coming, flying from the sky. opportunities, things, momentum. But then there is this balance, heart alchemy first, then things are happening. You're kind of like have to balance your heart to be really in this kind of like a flowing state, let's say. And then things start happening, and then there is even the Chariot here pointing out that the Chariot is moving. Maybe I read these stories because they are meaningful. Here the Temperance is advice from the universe for your relationship. A woman descends some steps at an easy pace, carrying an amphora full of water. She does not fall under the weight of her head load, instead facing her path one step at a time with perfect balance. Accepting responsibility, perseverance, finding one's rhythm. Okay, so the story here with the Roland, the girl was also very perseverance. There's this love. It's also like a 2 cups. And here this usually Temperance has 2 cups. So there's this seeking for balance here. Then we have the 8 of Wands. Again, advice still from the universe to your relationship. A full moon casts light on the trees outside the window of a temple. Inside, a sorrows of winged woman fly skywards. A desire has been revealed, whose intentions become actions. Conviction, constancy in transformation. And yes, this Chariot here, this Chariot moving forward. So from this balance point of view, there is this belief and will, and then everything starts moving from that point. So maybe this moment things are not moving yet, but they will. There is a lot of love here. Chariot. It moves on carelessly, traveling its path even at night, when the way is hard to see. Whoever is not on it must run to keep up with it. Certainty in one's decision, confidence, the will to move forward. So that is a beautiful thing. Currently, you see your person a little bit like having foresight and not doing things, and the person sees you also kind of like taking your own time and being this in with your own doing work, but being kind of like going to intuitive walks and being kind of wondering, both in this, but you are both having this beautiful intention to find true love. Let's see the love card instead. Love endures. Love does not give up or lose faith. Love is hopeful and withstands every situation. The same as in the love in the Roland story. Like, if somebody really loves you, they will just love you. It doesn't go away. It's just like bigger than you. It's just like it feels something to protect and keep when it's real love. Anyway, beautiful, beautiful moving forward energy again with this Chariot, very aligned with this card. Things are moving. Cool. Okay, I end all your readings here. And yeah, I hope you liked this reading. Maybe a bit different this time. It was a bit long maybe, but see you next week and have a nice weekend.